How is a teacher going to retire at 45? Hi, I'm Davi. I'm a first-gen millennial, and my goal is to FIRE. FIRE stands for Financial Independent Retire Early, or just be work optional. How I'm going to do this is based on the 4% rule. The 4% comes from the Trinity study that looked at 65-year-olds who retired and withdrew 4% from their invested retirement accounts and were able to sustain their retirement throughout the entirety. And FIRE is my goal because I just want to be work optional in order to have freedom of choice, spend time with my family, take care of my aging parents, and just relax. I also started investing at 23 and now I'm 29 with a net worth of over $150,000. I want to make this video to show you what's possible and how I did this. So the last 6 years I've been self-taught. I've learned how to invest through audiobooks, podcasts, books, articles, YouTube videos, news websites, anything I can get my hands onto. So these are the 8 accounts that I am investing in or having so that I can retire early at 45. The first account I want to go over that you may or may have not heard of is the 403b. This is like a teacher's version of the 401k. In 2024, the max contribution is $23,000, meaning that's the most amount of money that you can put into this account. This account is a pre-tax retirement account, meaning the money that gets funded into this account is from your paycheck. It's not been taxed yet. So it comes in pre-taxed, and then when you're 59 and a half, or when I'm 59 and a half, I can take this money out penalty free, but I have to pay taxes on it. According to the IRS, the 2024 maximum contribution is $23,000. This means the most amount of money you can contribute a year is $23,000. If you are over 50, you can contribute more so that way you can catch up to retirement. But for those who are under 50, it's $23K. The 403b is a really great retirement account, also if you want to lower your taxable income. In general, you could withdraw from your 403b when you're 59 and a half, penalty free. But if you withdraw before, there's going to be a 10% penalty fee, plus income tax. But I do not contribute to my 403b because I have a 457b. The 457b is a retirement account pre-tax, very similar to the 403b. You can also contribute up to $23,000 in 2024 to the 457b, but the main difference is I can withdraw penalty-free before I'm 59 and a half with this account. This is why I'm prioritizing maxing out my 457b instead of my 403b. This is perfect for people who want to retire early like me. I want to retire at 45, so being able to withdraw without paying penalty really saves me on my money and being able to fund my life in early retirement. Currently, I'm contributing $2,000 a month. However, because my contract as a teacher is 10.5 months, I'm only paying $2,000 into my 457b 10 times. So annually, I'm contributing this year about $20,000 into my 457b. Currently, I have my account with Nationwide, and this is another great account to save on taxes because I'm lowering my taxable income. For example, my income before taxes or gross is about $10,000. But because I take $2,000 a month out from my 457b, my STRS or my pension, and also my other like FSA account that I'll talk about later, that's gonna lower my taxable income from $10,000 to $7,000-ish. So instead of paying taxes on $10,000, I'm paying taxes on $7,000. So that means I'm paying less taxes to the state of California, federal taxes, or Medicare. So I'm gonna read from here. So for this, the 457b is generally available to government workers such as healthcare workers, educators, first responders, and government personnel. Do you or somebody you know have a 457b? And then what is your job or what is their job? And the reason why I'm investing $2,000 is you have to invest aggressively in order to retire early. The median age that people retire in the US is age 62, whereas I'm trying to retire at 45. So that means I'm going to have to sacrifice some things in order to get there faster. And I'm okay with that. Everyone's different. And just to let you know, like I'm not living off of like rice and beans. I'm living comfortably. I just don't shop a lot. I don't really have any debt. So I'm able to live fairly well. I eat out like 2 or 3 times a week. I get a monthly massage. I travel like 4 to 5 times a year. I just live below my means. So I'm okay. Like I'm lucky I'm in a circumstance that I'm able to invest this much a month. I don't have kids. I rent. I don't own a home. So those are my choices and that's what's been working and I'm happy. Also, if you learned one new thing today, please give me a like, and by the end of the video, if you learned 2 new things, please subscribe. It really helps out this small channel. The third account I have, not by choice, but because I'm a teacher in California, I have CALSTRS, which is the name of our pension. CALSTRS stands for California State Teacher Retirement System. I'm not gonna break down how it works in this video. If you'd like a video to see how it's broken down, comment below. But in general, if you have worked 5 years or more, and when you retire from 50 to 55, you're able to get your money. It's depending on the service credits or how many years you've worked. It also depends on the average of the top 3 earning years. So for example, if you've made the most money from 100K, 105K, and 110K, they would take the average of that, and then they will calculate it into this different percentage, and then it'll spit out a monthly income of how much you'll get until you die. However, I'm not really factoring my CALSTRS or my pension that much into my retirement plan. Actually, not at all, because I'm only going to be potentially working up to 15 or 17 years in the system, and I did the math, and it's only going to give me about $2,000 to $3,000 a month, and it's taxable. So that's very little compared to when I'll retire in about 15 to 20 years. I can't imagine what taxes will be like then. Also, in California, teachers do not get Social Security, at least public teachers don't. It just depends on the state. So in the US, some states opt in to getting Social Security, some states are opted out, and then some states are like a hybrid. And that's why I don't really rely on Social Security or this pension. When I was a teacher, or when I was a student teacher, I was student teaching for government, and we talked about Social Security and how it was at risk. When Social Security started under FDR, the worker to retiree ratio was quite large. So there was about 1 worker to maybe about 50 to 60 workers. And now in 2024 or even 2022, there might be 3 workers per retiree. So the program is at risk, and I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to be dependent on that program. So instead, that's why I'm really focused on building my retirement accounts, the 403B, the 457B, we have the pension, but also the next one I want to talk about is the Roth IRA. You've probably heard about the Roth IRA. If not, this is a private retirement account. This is post-tax or tax advantage, meaning in this account, you've already paid taxes and now you're investing your money into different investments. It could be ETFs or stocks or index funds. And then that money will go tax-free and you can withdraw tax-free. So that's why people really like the Roth IRA. It's one of my top faves, and that's why I'm prioritizing it. And then at the end of the video, I'll kind of summarize how I'm prioritizing my different investment accounts. This year in 2024, the maximum contribution limit for the Roth IRA is $7,000 for those who are under 50 years old, and it's $8,000 for those who are over 50 years old. For my Roth IRA, I keep it really simple. I just invest in index funds, and index funds are basically a big basket of different stocks that are traded. So for example, there's the total stock market, meaning that it tracks the index of over 3,000 publicly traded companies in the US. And so it's highly diversified and pretty stable, or not stable per se, but there's risk involved in investing, but pretty reliable, I guess. And then you've probably heard of the S&P 500. Those are the top 500 performing companies in the US, and that tracks the index of those 500 companies. Every year I max out my Roth IRA, and each year it kind of changes on the certain amounts, but in 2025, next year, they're actually keeping the annual contribution limits the same. And right now I want to talk about strategy. I am a lazy investor. What that means is I just buy and hold, or dollar cost average. Dollar cost average means every month when I get paid, I invest a certain amount of money into my investments. And it doesn't matter what price it is. So usually I buy Fidelity's total stock market, or FSKAX, which is the ticker symbol or the ticket symbol. I have been buying that index fund despite its price. It can be up 1 month, I'll buy it. It can be down 1 month, I'll buy it. It can be reversed upside down, flipped around, I'll buy it. Because I'm not timing the market. I'm not waiting for the stock to dip and then buy it when it's down so it can go back up. I am not a day trader, and most day traders lose money anyway. So I don't roll because that's not how I roll. This way of investing, doing it being a long-term investor, dollar cost averaging or just buying and holding is one of the most effective strategies of investing. And luckily, this is very simple and easy. I just want to show you my return in my Roth IRA because I feel like I want to show, not tell. I've been investing in my Roth IRA for about 4 or 5 years now, and I've gotten a 55.79% return. That is amazing. That is incredible. I want to say amazing, incredible at the same time. And I am not like an MBA, Yale / Harvard graduate in business and finance. Like, I taught myself how to do this, and I listened about lazy investment and just buying and holding. And that's what I did. And I've been consistent. And I think that's the key. You just got to be consistent. This is not financial advice. So anyway, yeah, listen, I know in the comments, like, some of these investments are overlapping. I get that. I was doing this when I was a beginner. So just, just playing around and buying some different ETFs, and it's fine. It's fine. And then I hopped in onto Vanguard's total stock market index fund pretty early on. I just kept on buying every month. And that was like in early 2021. So it just blew up in a good way. All right, anyway, just a few more details about the Roth IRA. I won't be able to withdraw money penalty free until I'm 59 and a half. So people wonder, Davi, how are you gonna retire since you're gonna retire early at 45? That's what my 457B is for. And the Roth IRA, I'll just wait until I'm 59 and a half. So before that, you also have to have your Roth IRA for 5 years and then turn 59 and a half in order for you to withdraw penalty free. So for example, you can't be like 57 years old and then start taking money out at 59 and a half. You have to have had it for 5 years. You also need income as well. So that's kind of one of the stipulations about having a Roth IRA. The next account I want to talk about is a traditional IRA. This is another investing account, and you can contribute pre-tax dollars or post-tax dollars. Post-tax dollars is also known as after-tax dollars. And the money that you put in or your contributions can also be tax deductible, helping you out in the short term, meaning it can give you immediate tax benefits. Unlike the Roth IRA, there's no income limits when it comes to opening a traditional IRA. So you can not have a job but still open one up and contribute to it. The traditional IRA could be a good account if you expect to be about in the same tax bracket or a low tax bracket when you retire. The sixth account that I have that's going to help me retire early at 45 is a brokerage account. A brokerage account, or a taxable account, is an investment account that you can buy stocks, ETFs, bonds, etc. This has no income requirement. You don't have to have a job to invest into this. There's also no contribution limit either, meaning you can invest however much money you can with this because there are no tax benefits. Unlike the Roth IRA that helps you with post-tax dollars going tax-free, and then any retirement account being pre-tax. So a brokerage account, like I said, does not offer any tax advantages, which is why you can buy and sell whenever you want with this account. However, you're going to have to pay taxes on any capital gains. Capital gains just means if you've made money off an investment. So for example, if I buy Apple for $100 worth and then I made $50 off of it and sold it, I would have to pay taxes on those $50. Depending if it's short term, if you've held it for less than a year, it's going to cost more. And then if you've held it long term, over a year, your taxes would be lower. You would pay less taxes for it. The brokerage account is a great account for my retire early strategy because remember, I'm going to need to withdraw money before 59 and a half without paying any penalties. So this would be one of those accounts. And you're wondering, where does this account fit into everything? Well, if I've already maxed out my 457B and my Roth IRA, then this is kind of a good area of where I can like dump a bunch of money that I can invest. For example, I have side hustles where I'm doing user interviews or paid interviews and also making content and monetizing my content as a content creator. Let's say I've maxed most of my accounts out already, but I still want to invest more money, then the brokerage account is a perfect account for that. And I know this is more of an extreme case. I know most people cannot max out all their accounts, without sacrificing their livelihood, but this is just where I'm at for early retirement. This is like the ideal case. So these brokerage accounts can be found anywhere, including like the Roth IRA. So a lot of really popular brokerage accounts or companies are Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, Schwab, even Ally is selling things now. Chase even has a brokerage. But what you need to look into is you want to look if they have low cost fees, low ratios, right? What you want to look into is that do they have good customer service? Do they have low fees? Do they have a really easy interface to use? Are they accessible? Things like that. So search around, do your research, and see what works for you. My 7th account I use is called an FSA, or a flexible spending account. I use this to pay for my medical expenses. So as a teacher, I have an FSA through my district. Unfortunately, I don't have an HSA. That would be great, but I don't. So the FSA is an account where I can put pre-tax dollars. I could spend on things such as co-pays, medicine, prescription, contacts, anything medical related that's approved through the government. So basically I'm saving taxes and I'm not paying taxes on these different services and these products like my contacts. So for example, my FSA, the contribution limits of 2024 is $3,200. For 10 months, my paycheck is getting deducted by $320. However, I'm getting that $3,200 upfront. So in summer, during like August, I had signed up, to contribute $3,200, and now I have that money, and then I just basically use it for whatever. I have like a Visa card and I can swipe it for like hauls when my throat hurts, or I just bought a year's worth of contacts. I bought Band-Aids, I bought hand sanitizer for my classroom, right? Just like medical things like that. And massages. So massages are FSA approved. I was like, yes. So anyway, that's also reducing my taxable income because every month $320 is deducted. Yay! However, I'm going to have to figure out a way on how to get healthcare when I do retire early at 45, because I don't think my healthcare with Kaiser through my district will not carry over. So either like I rely on my boyfriend to be my husband and I use his health insurance, or I just pay for it and like factor that in. It's funny, somebody told me they're gonna go to Mexico for like 20 years and then come back when they're 65 to use like Medi-Cal. I'm like, you do you, boo. Like, no judgment here. And then finally, I have a high yield savings account to prepare me for early retirement. So this is important. I've heard that you need 1 to 2 years of an emergency fund, just because imagine I'm retired at 45 and the stock market is doing great. And then all of a sudden it takes a nosedive. Like, I don't want to sell my portfolio if the value of it is down. You know what I mean? I'm like losing money at that point. So having the 1 to 2 year emergency fund is like a cushion. It basically helps me for 1 to 2 years until the stock market recovers. So that way, I'm not selling my retirement funds at a loss. So it's kind of a safety net in that case. So anyway, folks, I hope that makes sense. For those who don't know, a high yield savings account is a different type of savings account that offers you high interest for just saving with this company with this type of account. For example, I have 2 high yield savings accounts with Ally and with SoFi. They pay 10 to 20 times more interest for you than your traditional bank. So as a rule of thumb, I try not to keep more than like $4,000, $5,000 in my regular checking account, because again, my money is not growing. They're probably gonna give me like 1 cent, you know what I mean? Versus in a high yield savings account, I'm getting 4.2% a year on whatever principal or whatever money I have in my savings account. All right, folks. So to summarize, these are the accounts I have to help me with my early retirement. And I'll kind of break it down in order of like me prioritizing and funding the accounts. So first, the pre-tax account with the 457B. That's the retirement account that some government workers get, and I can take out money before 59 and a half without penalties. I have a 403B, but I don't fund that one just because it's not useful for early retirement. However, I could fund it and the 457B at the same time, but let's be real, I want to have a life. I need money for now. 3 is a California pension that just automatically 10.205% gets taken away. I'm not really counting that much in my post-fire journey. Next, I'm heavily prioritizing the Roth IRA. This money goes tax-free and it's really good bang for your buck. 5, the traditional IRA, I stopped investing into this one because I'm more focused on the other accounts. Next, after I fund my 457B and my Roth IRA, I really like to invest and buy ETFs and index funds into my brokerage account. Next, the FSA is what takes care of my medical related things. I save money on this and I reduce my taxable income. And lastly is the high yield savings account, which is a saving account that acts like a buffer or a safety net when I will retire. If the stock market goes down, then I have 1 to 2 years to live off this money and hopefully wait for the stock market to return and go back up. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched till the end, you're amazing, and I'm sure you're interested in FIRE. And if you are, tell me where you're at in your journey, because I'd love to hear. There aren't a lot of people I can talk to in real life about this. But stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.